Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Aging Gamer. So, like most people, I adore The Simpsons. Yeah, they're not as good as they used to be, but when you've been on the air for like 3 decades and have like 700 episodes, I think a decline in quality is bound to happen. But the 90s was a glorious time for The Simpsons. That was the golden era. As for the 90s Simpsons video games, not so much. But we played them because, hey, it's The Simpsons! One particular Simpsons game that always grasped my attention was Bart's Nightmare. I remember seeing this Bartzilla ad in comics and game magazines and just thinking, holy macaroni, this looks so cool! It's got Bartman, Bartzilla, King Kong Homer. I had to play this! And so I did. I rented the game from my local video store a few times, and I just couldn't beat it. It was too difficult, but that was many, many years ago. I'm a grown man now. I got a car. I got facial hair. Surely I can beat this game now, right? Well, let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Simpsons, Bart's Nightmare. The story here is that Bart has the dreaded task of doing his homework. He falls asleep and dreams of his homework flying out the window. He chases them and enters a parallel but totally messed up version of Springfield. Collect as many papers as you can to get a better grade on your homework. Once you begin, you start off on the street of Evergreen Terrace. You can walk around and you can jump. Your health bar is these little Z's here. When you run out of Z's, you wake up and it's game over. There's lots of enemies you'll find on the street, like floating Jebediah Springfield heads, and the school bus that'll run you on over. There's mailboxes that will run out in front of you too. If you're quick enough, you can jump over them. You might get a bonus, like bubblegum, which is used to capture more Z's, and watermelons, which you can use the seeds to spit at enemies. You can also find question marks that will point you in the direction of where your homework paper is. There's also enemies like a fairy version of Lisa that will turn you into a frog, causing you to be totally defenseless until you find an old lady that will blow you a kiss and turn you back. You'll even find Principal Skinner, who will run past you and cause you to be in your church clothes. In your church clothes, you're invincible for a short amount of time, but you can't use any of your weapons. There's a bunch more crazy things you'll see on the street, like basketballs. Jump over them to turn them into skateboards. The longer you ride your skateboard, the more health you gain. However, the skateboard is absolutely awful. Once you bump into something, you'll crash. And there's lots of things to bump into, including tiny little cracks in the street and sidewalk. It's almost impossible to ride the skateboard for more than a couple of seconds. You'll also find Blinky the fish cruising down the street. Jump over him 3 times to get a continue. There's also a TV you can shoot to gain instant access to a homework paper. There's blobs that will slow you down, saxophones that will switch the controls, and probably more stuff that I'm missing. The streets are like a really bad version of Toe Jam and Earl. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and look at those crazy levels you see in the advertisements. Once you find a paper, walk on it to enter. You'll have to decide which color door to go through. Pick one and you'll enter a mini-game. Let's start with the yellow door, which causes you to enter a Itchy and Scratchy cartoon. Itchy, Scratchy, and random appliances will attack you. This minigame is pathetically easy. I mean, all you have to do is grab a mallet and stay on the most upper part of the level. Start spamming the smash button, and you'll kill everything in sight. It's so easy, it's not even fun. But hey, it's an easy homework paper to collect. If you enter the orange door, you'll enter the Temple of Maggie minigame. In this level, you'll jump around colored stones. Jumping on them sink them down a smudge. Some of them will collapse altogether. So the gimmick is to progress through the level, stepping on the right stones, while also avoiding a blue devil dude and giant pacifiers shooting at you from the background. I try to beat this game, but damn, this is hard. Unless you collect one of these eggs, which there's a good chance it can lead to death as well, you'll only get one shot, so if you mess up, you're back on the streets. Ugh. Anyway, there's also a blue door that leads to the Flying Bartman level. In this janky shooter minigame, you'll use your slingshot to shoot at enemies and hazards. Some of these crusty balloons will give you bonuses. A poo will occasionally fly by on a carpet and throw you a beer to restore your health. Thanks? Nelson will also fly by on a hang glider, so make sure you knock him out to keep him from reoccurring. In this single level, you have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 boss fights. What the hell? Your first boss is against Sherry and Terry. It's easy enough. Next boss battle is against a burping Barney and a flying pink elephant. Funny and not too hard. Your third boss fight is against Mr. Smithers, and then the boss fight after that is Mr. Smithers. And the final boss is against Mr. Burns. He'll fly pretty quick, back and forth on the screen. After quite some time and some bullet dodging, he's defeated and we get a paper. Now, if you go through a purple door, you'll go into the Bart's Bloodstream level. What? In this level, you're swimming in your bloodstream, I guess. There's these viruses everywhere. Go up to them and start using your hand pump to pop them. There's no directions on what you're really supposed to be doing, but you're supposed to be collecting enough of these little cowboy dudes for one of your papers to appear. But since one hit will kill you, it gets pretty difficult. And the last mini game through the green door is the Bartzilla Stage, the stage I'm most excited about! I don't even know what just happened. Alright, this is a really awkward mini level. First off, the controls of Bartzilla are weird. Bartzilla automatically moves forward. Hold left to pause him in place. Press up, down, or right on the D-pad to shoot fireballs in a certain direction, and press A, B, and C to shoot lasers also in a certain direction. Each attack has to be used to attack a specific thing, like press right to shoot down helicopters, but press C to attack tanks. I don't know about you guys, but using both the A, B, and C and the D-pad to attack, it's just really awkward. To make it worse, again, there's no directions on what you're supposed to do. Am I supposed to blow everything up? Am I supposed to survive until I reach the end? I mean, sometimes it seems like I can take a lot of hits, and other times it feels like I die way too quick. This level is just too clunky, and no matter how many times I try, I can't beat it. I never even get to see King Homer and Momthra. That really breaks my heart. And those are all the mini levels you can play. Some levels have 2 parts, so you can collect 2 papers from the same colored door, collect all 8 papers and get a perfect grade, and the best ending. However, that's not the ending that I got. Uh-oh. So, a D is still passing though, right? I beat the game? But in all actuality, I can't do it. This game is just too terrible for me to even want to try to do better. So this game has so many problems, I don't even know where to begin. Walking down the streets is one of the biggest pains to me. When you first start the game, you'll find the first 2 pages floating around easy enough, but after that, they become super rare. I'm walking around the streets for way too long and not coming across anything. Jumping over mailboxes might give you a clue on where the next paper is located, but for some reason the mailboxes themselves start becoming more rare as you progress through the game. And even when you do find the mailboxes, they most likely leave you nothing of value. You just end up roaming the streets in what feels like forever, bumping into enemies and dealing with these dumb shenanigans. And you know, the streets are filled with too many damn bad guys. The stupid foregrounds will even block some of them from your sight, so you might end up getting hurt pretty bad without even seeing it coming. It's not hard to stay alive in this game, but with how painstakingly boring it gets looking for these papers, you kinda want Bart to die. And what's even worse is that when you do find a paper, the game doesn't get any better. Every single minigame is just awful. None of them are fun, and it just leaves you feeling pissed afterwards. There's either no directions on what to do, it's too easy to die, or the gameplay just barely passes as mediocre. It feels like the game is trying too hard to do too many things, and it's just not doing a single thing right. To the game's credit, it's not too bad visually. I mean, it's nothing outstanding, but the little cutscenes and visuals aren't too bad for a game that came out in 1992. Some of the beats in this game are pretty catchy too, but these are really the only positives I can find with the game. Usually when I do my reviews, I play the game all the way through to the end, but in this case, I just couldn't do it. I found no pleasure in playing this. And unless you're a gaming masochist, I don't think you'll like this either. But these are just my opinions. What do you guys think? What do you think of The Simpsons Bart's Nightmare? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you don't like this video, give it a dislike. And if you want, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'll see you all later.
Oh.